give me a needle for what? They locked the side, that side. I couldn't go to the bathroom. You pee right there in the bed laying down. And I guess there were plastic sheets You ever seen anything like that? Well, they got a room there where the bed is and the bed lock on that side, pull rail up and lock that side, there, here, down here. I don't understand. A hospital having a bed like that? I will talk to them yesterday and give them everything I had. My pocketbook, well, they call that my clothes. Give them my pocketbook, and then I bring it home. I had nothing. If I get there, you couldn't get on the bus. But I tried. So I've been called and they could point me to go be and see the head of the hospital. With that carrying on, I could tell him, and I'll tell you and everybody else, I'll die before I go back. And I'm going to tell him, if I take sick, I'm going to die. And that's the closest hospital to me, they can die. I just see go to a hospital for that kind of treatment. And it's a big demonoid thing. I don't know who it was. I thought he was a policeman. But he come and just sit in the room to watch me. I'm in the bed, and he's sitting over there at the desk. Unless they had me mix up with somebody else. And they give them my pocketbook. Well, there was a little thing I had with in my pocket. Give them my pocketbook. I had nothing. So I say, well, they're just going to kill me. Because they give them a pocketbook. I had nothing except the good.
So she told the story after coming from the hospital. When she told the story, my heart sank. I looked at her. 96, frail, maybe 5 feet, a little more than 100 pounds. And the best answer that they had was to put restraints on her. I knew immediately all they had to do was to say, okay, let us call your daughter. We will have her come pick you up. And she would have waited. And I know that because I'm that daughter. And they didn't do that. They allowed things to escalate. And all they knew was to use force. I am so tired of excessive force being used on black people or brown people or anybody actually. Excessive force is never a good answer. Seldom leads to a good outcome. That's all they had to do. That's all they had to do. But they didn't see it. They didn't see it. And the question is this racial? Because the providers were white. And my mother is black. And she is frail. And she is wrinkled. And on first glance, you might think this is no one of significance. But you would be wrong. She is a woman of great significance to many. She has raised and nurtured lawyers and doctors and persons with MBAs. And it's not even about degrees, really. She has nurtured and raised and comforted and guided many people. She has helped to be that confident, be that friend, be that word of wisdom, be that person that would pray for you. She's been that and so much more to others. And so for her to be treated like that, and actually, it is obviously personal. It happened to my mother. But I'm telling you, unless we check this, it could happen to your mother. It could happen to someone you loved, someone you knew, someone who they thought was insignificant and not worthy of human decency. This is not how we should treat the elderly in our society. And this is not an example of good health care. This is more consistent with elder abuse. And so their short-term solution has led to a long-term complication in that she's now fearful of what might happen to her in a hospital. And we, the family, share that concern because it's real, because it happened to her, because even though there was a much easier solution, they opted for the violent one. They thought that was the most appropriate way to handle the situation. And so the other part is that we, the family, don't believe that they would have told us about this. And the only reason we know is we came early enough and our arrival was unexpected and we saw the restraints. Now, and according to their notes, the restraints were removed after 6+ hours of restraining her while she was sleeping. They were removed because she was now cooperative. Again, another falsehood. They were removed because the family arrived. I share this story. I share the shame of the story because I don't want this to happen ever again. There is no justification for what happened.